Welcome back to Take Two. My guest today from Fox Sports in Sportstime Ohio, Ashley Cullens. You can find her on Drennan Live Monday through Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Ashley, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am doing great. So I just can you tell the guests a little bit about yourself before I get started?
Oh, sure. I have been with Sportstime Ohio now. It'll be actually 10 years in May.
Oh, wow.
I've been there for a very long time. Seems like forever. Love all of it. Fox Sports recently had bought Sportstime Ohio, so we're all under one roof now. We have a new building right downtown in Public Square, and we work very closely with all the sports teams here in Cleveland, and that's really my life, sports. So all you really need to know is that. And, I'm there every day and following all the teams very closely and loving every minute of it. I went to Kent State, actually, college. I'm a local girl, so born and raised here, and that's about it. Yeah, 10 years feels like forever, but that's what I've been doing and enjoying all of it, that's for sure.
That's great. I'm happy that you enjoy what you do because it's like not a job.
Exactly. It's funny because that's what everyone says to me. They're watching the games and they think, oh, you just get to sit around and do that. I'm like, no, we do have to do some work. We do. We like to follow the teams. We like to watch everything. But a lot goes into it behind the scenes as well, obviously. But, yeah, I can't complain at all.
I'm happy. I'm happy for you. So my first question is going to be, what got you into sports?
Okay, so this is a funny story, actually, because I went to Kent State for marketing. So I studied that throughout college and actually thought I decided that I wanted to do some type of sales or event coordinating and whatnot. So I had worked at a golf course out east and was the event planner coordinator there right out of college. And so while I was doing that throughout the summer, actually our director of programming at the time on Sportstime Ohio was a member there. He had said they were they had a new position that was opening, which would be to do updates within All Bets Are Off, it was called at the time before Drennan Live. So it was kind of hey, do you want to, come in and try it out, and we'll teach you and we'll learn together. And I said okay, and I had been there ever since. So it was a lot of learning, obviously, as you could imagine, not having any TV background starting from Kent State. And then I really just learned everything from the ground up. I mean, the guys were great that I had worked with. They taught me, on-camera stuff, but behind the scenes, they taught me how to edit everything. So I would edit my own, packages and features and highlights that would go into all the updates and whatnot. So from there, just kind of expanding roles throughout and learning a lot of the production side of things as well as on camera, and everything kind of just grew from there. So it's kind of funny how I got into it, but it's like I can't see any different way of life now that I've done that. So.
Yeah. There aren't many women in sports broadcasting. Tell us about your experience being one of the few women in our business.
Yeah, I like it. It's great. I think more people are getting into it. And it's a lot of work. You are working mostly with males, and I think people tend to think that that's why, because males know more about sports because they would play the sports. But, it's a growing business, and you have to put a lot of work in. And to be able, for people to take you seriously, which is a big thing. I think, a lot of people can say, oh, you have a pretty girl working on the sidelines or something like that. I mean, so many of the women in this business just put in so much work, and they're dedicated to it. And I think you just have to have that outlook and always be working towards something else and something bigger while you're doing what you do. And the women that I know in this industry, I'm very good friends with and have become very close with. And I mean, they absolutely love it. And I love being a part of a little small group like that, and I think you need to get to a point where, people can respect you. You're going to be in the clubhouses with all the guys and not hardly any other women around. So I think it's a good thing. And I think breaking barriers of, people thinking a certain persona of you if you're a woman in sports. So I think, it is. It's just a lot of hard work, but in the end, it all pays off, getting towards the end goal.
I understand. I agree too. Can you tell us some of that hard work that you have to put in so we can know? Because I'm pretty sure it's some more women out there that's like, what do I got to do to become a sports, broadcaster? Like, they actually want to know. So can you tell us some of that hard work that you have to put in?
So, yeah, it's a hard business to get into. I mean, there's a lot of people that study it and want to do it. So, there's a ton of people wanting to get in this. And you really have to have a little bit of luck as well, as I did with falling into the position, that I did. There's so many people that want to do it. So you have to just really know what you're doing at all times. You have to be prepared at every step and every second that you're going to be talking about it. And I know it's a little more generalized with what I do, because on our show, Drennan Live, we talk all sports. I know some people have specialized things, like Allie Clifton with the Cavs. She works just with the Cavs. That's what she does, season in and season out, and even off season. But yeah, I mean, everything, just being prepared from waking up first thing in the morning, and whether I'm going to yoga in the car, I have, talk radio sports, listening to that, and watching ESPN or Fox, and watching all of the games and knowing and checking Twitter and news feeds and whatnot. So it's really just, you have to be prepared at all times, because you never know what could come up or what could be asked of you. And you definitely want to be ready if something else is asked of you in the industry, to do a different job or to fill in for someone, let's say. So there's a lot behind the scenes, and all the guys I work with too on the pre and post games for Indians, let's say, they're always in there and checking stats and watching things and working very closely with the producer. So a lot goes into what you see finished product-wise on camera.
Nice. My next question: has there ever been any wild moments on your show?
Oh man. Well, yeah, I think it's live television, so things can happen, of course. Bruce Drennan, the host, so he actually takes phone calls during the show, so that gets a little more wild. He just takes those calls. So, but I mean, it's live TV, so as I'm sitting there and, something, let's say, comes through about Johnny Manziel, of course, there's always something going on with him when he's here.
It is. Oh
it's just reacting to that right away and kind of just going by your emotions. So I don't really necessarily have one wild moment that in a bad way, I guess, but it's just always, again, being on your toes. Things happen. People are tweeting, how that goes. So obviously the best part so far, and what I've had, and this is just wild and crazy because of what it was the Cavs winning, of course. And I was actually for Game 7 on top of the Greenhouse Tavern on East 4th.
I was actually about to ask about that next.
And myself, yeah. So we were up there during the game and watching, and it was packed up there, of course. And, right when the moment that we won, we tried to go live, and however many screaming fans behind me and trying to get on camera, and
crazy.
And the signal isn't working, of course. So those things like that, you have to go through. And but that was the best moment, I'd have to say. I also, I'm sure you would ask about the Cavs, but yeah, the parade day, I was right in the middle of everything, and to get from where I needed to be, I actually walked the entire parade route with the guys.
Which was probably hard.
Over 1 million people downtown, which was, trying to get from Progressive Field, which is where it started over there by the Q and Progressive Field, and ending over, by City Hall, let's say, over there.
Yep.
Just trying to get through, that was the only way. So, I mean, I never will forget that day, that moment when they won, and then going to the parade. And you asked about hard work and preparation. That planning and prepping for the parade day, because we had no idea what was going to happen, was one of, a thing of beauty behind the scenes, because it had to be everybody in place and working towards that one goal of getting us on the air and carrying the entire parade from start to finish. And we were live the entire time.
I would know how it was during that parade. Me and my boyfriend went down to the parade. Oh my gosh. Trying to get through those people was crazy. And then we were in Pennsylvania at a concert when the Cavs won the game. All you know is at the end of the concert, my mom, my aunt, my grandmother, my grandfather, everyone's calling me, oh my God, the Cavs won, the Cavs won.
I know. Yeah.
Since we're talking about the Cavs and since we're talking sports and you do sports, can you tell us, do you think the Cavs will repeat this year?
Yes, I do. I think that, I just was at Media Day. So Cavs Media Day, they were all there and listening and talking with players. And it was a really good message, I think, that they had, that they all aren't really right now reflecting on that Cavs championship because, going to the championship and winning in the way that they did, it cut that summer so short in their off season. So it was almost like they immediately were back at work. And even LeBron saying, until my playing career is over, that's really when I will reflect on what happened. But again, we have to get ready now for this season. And of course, the question was, okay, Golden State, adding KD now is going to be a huge acquisition. Do you think immediately that they're the favorites? And it's, of course, they're always a good team, and they're going to continue to be a good team. And I say the Cavs have just as good a chance as they do, to win. We saw them do something no one thought that could happen and come back from a 3-1 deficit. So I think that and the way that they worked and the team that they had and the way they interact with each other and some pieces that they've added, I think they have a very good shot of repeating that and defending it. And I know that they're ready to get back to work, starting with workouts that they conducted themselves, throughout the summer. So, yeah, Yes, I do. I hope that they do. I think it would be amazing, but I think they have a great shot to do it again.
Okay, now before I go to my next topic, I had a question about the Cavs still, my last question on the Cavs. So my friends have been talking about how some of the Cavs players are leaving. Is that true?
I've not heard any of that, so I don't know.
If you say it, I believe it.
Yeah, yes, I don't know. I have not heard that. Again, I was at Media Day, but I've heard from everyone around, and we're ready for the season. I think that LeBron James is an amazing leader, an amazing guy to play with, and I think these guys are happy, and, they want to do it again, and they saw what it brings to the city when something like that happens, and I think they were very, very happy to be a part of all of that.
Okay. Thank you for answering that question. Now, next topic. Are the Indians going to the World Series, in your opinion? Do you think so?
I have to believe it because, yes, I covered them. I think this group, and I just talked about this today, and we listened to manager Terry Francona talk earlier today, and he said the one word that he uses to describe this team is resilient, and I think that is a perfect word. We saw so many injuries from this team that they had to get over, and it was like a different guy all the time, something that they had, to get over the hurdle, and they just kept coming through. Their walk-off wins night after night, a different guy stepping up each of those nights just shows there's not one true superstar on this team, when you look at the position players, and I think that to be able to get to this far and to, have home field and to clinch the division and to beat up on the Detroit Tigers like they did all season, it says so much about how this team is made up, how it's managed, how their clubhouse is. And so I think, and you think about it, if, the Rangers lose in their series, we then would have home field for the championship series, and then with the American League winning the All-Star game, then for the World Series. So I think it's a great opportunity for the Indians right now, and I think if there's that year it's going to happen, I think that this can be the year. I think something just clicked, something motivated them, which I think has a lot to do with the Cavs championship, and they look at that and they want to be a part of that too. And this team is just, it's something different. I think resilient, again, is a great way, and I think that they're going to keep pushing through, and I really hope that they can make it there.
Okay, So, since we're talking about all Cleveland sports teams, the Monsters won their championship. The Cavs won their championship. The Indians are on their way to their World Series. Let's talk about the Browns. Do you think the Browns will win a game this year?
A game? Well, yes, I will give them a game.
How about more than one game?
Yeah, I could maybe give them two. Maybe. I mean, I think we're going to see, hopefully Corey Coleman get back. And I think that the way that Coach Hugh Jackson is coaching without all of these people, and he has just been handed like one blow after another. I feel bad. I go to Berea every Monday after a loss, and it's one more injury and one more bad call and one more guy getting suspended, whatever. So I think that what he's been able to do, and their record could be definitely different right now. You know, they could have won a couple of those games already. So I know we're 0-4 now, but I think I know it matters what your record is now, but looking back, and I think that they very could have easily won a couple of those games. So I do think that they can get there. I'm not going to say that they're going to this week against Tom Brady coming back and the Patriots, but you never know. But yeah, I think that they can pull out a win or two, and I think that Coach Jackson's just figuring it out, and unfortunately, he's just been given some bad hands. But hoping some of these guys come back from injury. I know that Josh Cowan wants to get back out there. He's a gamer, and Cody Kessler has been doing fine. I think we thought he was just going to be thrown to the wolves and, awful rookie, but he has had poise under center. He goes in there, he leads these guys, and they cannot say enough about his work ethic. So I think when you are putting in the work like he does, and he's learning on the fly, just like all the young rookies, and yeah, I'm going to give him a game, maybe two. So you can hold me to that. We'll see.
I'm a Browns fan. I'm not even going to lie. I am a Browns fan, as bad as they lose sometimes. But that's my team. But can you let everyone know how to get in touch with you via social media, please?
Yes, I am on Twitter daily. So you can follow me at Ash Collins. So we do a lot of stuff through there for social media every day, actually, on our show, Running Live. So we have put out questions of the day, so all the fans can chime in and, give us your opinion on all things Cleveland sports. I'm also on Facebook under Ashley Collins, and on Instagram, Ash Collins 12. So all kinds of stuff. But yeah, mostly we use our Twitter and Facebook for the show. So yeah, if any fan wants to chime in, we love hearing from the fans and what they think about what's going on.
Okay, and my last and final question, is there any advice you have for anybody that wants to be in your field?
Yes, it is. It's hard to do. It's hard to get into. So if you do make it and are, in the field, I think you have to have very thick skin. You have to be able to put your head down and work and really put in the work to do it, because it just pays off so much. And you can, tell a difference in someone that really, really works hard and really wants to get to know the business, as opposed to someone, who just goes through the steps and tries to get there. So I just think that's all about it. I think that's how life is too. So yeah, if you really just can get lucky enough to get in the business once you are, I think you just really have to work your butt off, and I think that will pay off for you in the long run.
Okay, and I just want to say thank you very much for coming onto my show, Ashley. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And stay tuned.